Okay, so today we are going to do our 1-year maintenance on our new hot springs hot tub. So it is fall and the leaves are everywhere, as you can see. So I am going to blow all the leaves off with a blower. And we also have our hose here, and this is like a hose from a camper or RV, and we're going to stick it on our out so that we can empty the tank, and then we drain everything off into the yard so that we can start cleaning. But first of all, because the power is still on, we are going to turn the power off, but I want to pull the remote off first. I think the remote is charging. So, yeah. So let's pull this out, and then we can turn everything off. So now we're just going to go over here to the wall where we have our electric out to the hot tub. And let's get this turned off. Okay, that's off. So now we should have no power to the hot tub. So everything's off. So let me get the leaf blower going here, and then I'm going to connect this hose, and I'm going to start draining out the tank so we can get into cleaning mode. So I'll be back in a bit. Okay, so I have the hose attached. I got a little bit of silicone and put it on the threads because this is a metal piece and it's going on a plastic piece. So I want to make sure that we don't have any kind of scraping up or destruction of the plastic piece. So now we're going to push this back. And open it up. And now we have water flowing out. So, yep. So let's pull the hose out into the yard. This hose will get really soft with hot water, 100 degree water coming through it. So right now it doesn't want to cooperate, but soon it'll be doing all right. We have a little bit of leaking coming out, but then again, this hose is fairly cheap, so not a big deal. All right, so next step while the tank is emptying itself out, which will take a while, we are going to clean the lid. So I'm going to go get that and show you how I do that. All right, so I used a brush with a little bit of Dawn to thoroughly go over this outside of the tank. You don't want to get any soap on the inside. So where we have little openings, you have to be very careful that you don't get soap inside. So we've soaped the whole tank on the outside, gotten rid of any water drips. I have I guess where it comes down here, it likes to drip right down the front of the tub here, and it leaves a mark. So we scrub that off. So we're looking pretty good. So now we're just going to take our hose here and we're going to clean off all of the Dawn soap. So I will get that done and get back to you, because we have to dry the whole top perfectly dry to put on our next our next chemical, which is, I'll show you real quick, which is our protectorant. But we need a microfiber cloth, and this has to be dry, and there cannot be any sunlight. And as you can see today, we have no sunlight or sun shining directly on the tub, so that's fantastic. Also, my tub, I don't know if you could see, but we do have some black specks on this. I don't know exactly what that is, but it does not come off. Might be some sort of growth or something, but for some reason it doesn't want to come off. I'll show you better when I get everything cleaned and dried off. All right, be back in a couple. All right, so after washing and drying, to get it super dry, I like using this little squeegee if you can find one. It's very helpful for going over top of the lid. I really like that. And then I used a regular beach towel to totally get it dry. And then on the stubborn parts, broke out the leaf blower, and now the top is really ready for our sealant. Now this stuff is really good. I didn't put it on my last hot tub, and the lid got really brittle and it started to crack. So now we're a year in, and it's still very, very nice and soft, and I attribute that to this stuff, which is excellent for boats and other plastic items that you want to protect from harmful sun. So I'm going to get now a special cloth and a microfiber cloth, and we're going to apply this. So stand by. All right, so I want to show everybody what this stuff does. So obviously this side is our untreated side, and then you can see a really stark difference between the side that I did do. And this stuff is amazing. So that's what it's going to look like. It's like almost night and day. So this is well worth it. I think on Amazon it's a little bit cheaper than at your hot spring store or wherever you buy your products for hot tub servicing. But check that out. All right, I'm going to do everything else. I'm going to do the sides on the front and all the way around, and then somehow fight that tree for doing the back. And then I'll show you what the total looks like, or the end looks like. Okay, the top is done, and it looks beautiful. Looks like it just rolled out of the showroom floor. Now, looking back when we built the deck back some years ago, I do regret not putting up a awning or something over top of this hot tub, because it does protect it from the elements. But that's hindsight. So we have to do the best to keep it nice now. All right, let's check and see what our water level is. All right, we're getting to the top of the back massagers, so it's going to be a little while. All right, next up, we have to tackle the filters. So that's the most fun, is cleaning filters. All right, be back in a couple. All right, we're back, and first I'd like to apologize. We do have a homecoming going on over there, so if you hear an announcer in the background, that's what that is. So we've taken out all of our filters, and we have a little filter processing going on here. You want to use this to spray them down, and then they're going to sit for 5 minutes. Now, when the 5 minutes is up, then we put them in a bucket for about 10 minutes in there, and then in the bucket we have our filter cleaner. So that gets mixed in a full bottle of this in there, and that'll break up all the nasties inside the filter and get that reset for another year. Now also, when you're getting ready, when you're inspecting your filters, this one came off of our old tank, and we did notice that it has a big cut in it right here, and you do not want that inside your tank, because now that can get inside the pump, and once this starts, then this whole thing will crack, and it's not good. You don't want that inside your tank. So that one is going to be replaced. We do have a brand new one over here, so that one will take its place. Now for our salt care system, we took the chlorine maker out of here, and we have it on the table here, and it's soaking in pH down. So you want to put in pH decreaser in here, and we have a little toothbrush, and you want to clean this up and get the scum off of it. So that'll sit in there for about 10-15 minutes and work its magic. Now the wife is in the tub, and she's been using the Mr. Clean magic erasers to go around and get off all the all the dirt and scum that might be in the tub. We also use the squeegee to get all the water off of the seats, and now she's cleaning up the last little bits of water that's going out the out the drain into the yard. And then when she gets done that, then we can actually come down here and unscrew this. So once we get this unscrewed, the last little bit of water will be out of the tub. Hopefully soon. Yeah, I'm trying to. There it is. Okay, the last little bit will drain out, and then we can tighten that up and put our cover back on there. So now she's trying to get, we do notice that off the roof, little bits of pebbles from the shingles fall on, and then they get on your feet, and they get right into the hot tub. So now she's trying to pick them out of the, down there is not only the drain, but it's also the heater area. So once she gets all that cleaned out, and then she's going to work her way over here into our overflow, and you want to clean the overflow really well, because that's where all the undesirable scum adds up very quickly in here. So if you keep this nice, then your filters are happy, and the tub stays clear. So now we're going to wash all of our wash and soak and spray all of our filters, and get them back in the tub. Be back in a little bit. Okay, just a little tip for new users. When you have your filter first put in, when you drop it down on the upright pipes here, don't tighten it very much. Okay, so we're going to go in until it's secure, and then that's it. It can get calcium and build up around here, and then it becomes very hard to loosen it, and then you can actually break the seal down at the bottom, and then this whole piece will turn, and well, that's not good. So very, very loose, like very loosely tighten that up. Also, when this is filled up and running during the year, we have a fish net that we just got from a local pet store, and that's really good for just skimming out overflow scum that sits on the top and doesn't make it to the filters. So that's a good little investment and a good tip to keep your overflow clean. So now we're still working on our filters. Obviously they're going to have to sit for a large amount of time. It's like 10 minutes per filter. So we're going to start filling up the tank now, because once we get the tank up to a certain level, then we can turn the heater back on and get the heat in the tank up so that we can drop our salt in. So that's what's next. All right, so now we're actively filling the tank. You want to run your hose into the filter so that it gets filtered out before it gets down into the rest of the tub. But our water here is pretty good and clean, as you can see. All right, so another thing we don't want to forget is that we've cleaned this with the pH down and made sure that all the gunk and scum is off of it. So we're going to put that back into here, tighten that up, and then we're going to put this on top so that when we turn the pump on, we don't have leaks. If you do that, it'll leak down in here, and then you're like, why am I leaking? So make sure that's done properly. All right, we're filling up. And then we're also still have 2 filters to do, and that one's soaking. All right, next stage, fill the tub up. We're right about here now. Have to go up to here. We have our hose in the overflow, and we do have the system on. The water care system is off, but the heater is on and the pump circulator is on. As you can see, it's shooting air. The little pump is on, circulating water. That'll be underwater in a little bit. We're sitting at 74 degrees. We need to get at least up into the 90s before we go and add the salt in. The system is showing power, but water care is off. So that's the status. Have to wait for it to fill up. All right, I'll be back in a little bit. Okay, we're out here with our absolutely full now hot tub. So we're doing pretty good with the temperature. We're up to 84, so that's definitely warm enough to add our ingredients. So the first thing we want to do is we want to go to our manual, and we have an Envoy, which is 390 gallons. So we want to put salt in at 9 1/4 cups. So we have a regular spa salt out here, and we've put that amount into this Pyrex bowl. So now we can go ahead and add that. My esteemed assistant helped me here. So we're going to put in little at a time. Put Mr. Ducky out. Hold on, let's kick up the jets. All right, good. Now that that is in, we'll let that circulate for a couple of minutes, and then we need to get our testing kits. So while we're getting the testing kits out here, let's go ahead and look what else we have. So once we have our salt in and it's mixed up and we've tested it, we have our chlorine at 2.5 teaspoons. And then we're going to put in our oxidizer at 3 tablespoons. So we have them right here, ready to go as soon as we've tested our salt. So here we have our salt test kit. So let's close that up. We don't need that right now. Let's do a salt test. See what that thing comes out at. All right, so we're looking good with our salt testing. Yeah, that's good. All right. Oh, it's going to be 1,000. That's right in the middle. Yeah, that's good. That's what we want. All right, so now let's run a test on this, just to test our basic waters. Now this is not going to do any chlorine. So as you can see, our chlorine is totally bare, but we're up in the, for the alkalinity, and the pH is looking good, and the hardness. Let's look at the hardness. The hardness is good. So that's excellent. Our water from the township comes out very well for hot tubs. We don't have to put any hardness or alkalinity up or anything like that. They do that very well. They manage that. All right, so then we're going to go to our water care system, and we're going to turn that on. All right, we're still going to be down on the green. All right, it thinks I'm changing it. I pressed the wrong button, so that's not good. Hold on. All right, so let's go in here, make sure this is good. Plug that back in. All right. All right, so let's go ahead and dump in our, just turn up the other, turn the other pumps on. Pumps on.
Oh, sorry. Hi?
Yep. All right, so let's go ahead and add our chlorine. We want to shock it, get it going, right? And then we're going to put in our oxidizer. And this will help the chlorine uptake into the water. All right, now we can come over here. Should be able to get our salt system working. We're going to set it to 3. So now it's testing. Now we went from being off, and our cartridge is reading. I don't know if you can see with the glare. The cartridge is reading okay. So that's great. I'll put the lid on here. And then we can run another strip. Yeah, we'll run that. It'll read enough. Alright, so we're pretty low on chlorine. No, actually we're getting right there in the middle. It just took a while to...
It takes a while.
Yeah.
It takes a couple hours.
Alright, so we're looking good. Now it's going to take a little bit of time for the temperature to get up to 101. But that's looking good. We'll let that cycle. It's also good to do this to push all the extra stuff through the filters that might have dropped into the tank while you had the lid open or while you were cleaning, just the rest of the particles. We try to keep everything clean as we're going along with the fish net. That's good for pulling out little things. So there you go. We are good for another year. The one thing that we do every month, we'll rotate these filters around. So we'll take the one in the 1 position. This is the 1 position. We'll take that one, move it to the 2 position, and then go around during the year so that filter isn't doing the majority of the work. Because with a small pump on, it will run all the time and run most of the water through that one. So we like to rotate that one around during the course of the year. And then you can just evenly get them, so to speak, dirty over the year. Let's put the lid back on. Alrighty, there we go. This light will come on later on when the temperature gets up to 100, 101. And let's just double check and make sure that our saltwater system is okay. That's excellent. There we go. Alright, we're at 85 degrees. We'll keep the pumps on, circulating the water so that the heater doesn't get overworked and become really hot in that one area. So what I'm trying to say is that the water is moving around, and if you don't have the pumps on, it gets really, really hot right there, and it can trip your heater on the high side, and you don't want that, because then you have to go out, shut the whole system down, and then reboot it to clear that error. So we run our pumps until the temperature gets up to where it needs to be. So in a couple hours, if we recheck the chlorine and it's not up to where we want it, then we'll just add like a little bit extra just to top it off. And then we use this salt system to maintain that level. We don't use that to boost the level, because you could blow through a cartridge pretty quickly trying to manage that. We manage it with the chlorine granules. So there you go. I hope this video helped you out in your hot tub experiences, and we'll see you in the next video.